What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cam Show. We got NFL Week 17, baby, the last week of the season. I love it. Obviously, the playoffs are right around the corner. The best time of the year, baby. I love it. First of all, I want to start off with my team, the Indianapolis Colts, baby. We open up against Jacksonville. Obviously, week one, we saw what happened. And I really stick to the script. I even said, look, once the Colts lost in week one to sorry-ass Jacksonville, their only win of the effing season, bro, I was like, yo, look, the Colts, it would make sense. You guys should take maybe draft Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields in the NFL. Wouldn't that make sense for the Colts, right? But no, the Colts went a different way. The Colts will probably win this game. They're favored by 14.5. I'm taking the Colts, no doubt about it. I'll take that spread. I mean, obviously, if the Colts lose, they're done. Playoffs hopes are done. You guys are over with. So to me, the Colts, this is a must-win game, and it really starts with Phillip Rivers. A pretty decent season this year, 23 touchdowns and only 10 picks. I get that. Jonathan Taylor, I think he's the future for the Colts. I think eventually the Colts will give him a long-term contract, as they should. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Jonathan Taylor, 202 carries throughout the season, 916 yards rushing and 9 touchdowns. Really baller. Obviously, Jacksonville's been banged up kind of all season. Minshew's been in and out. He's got 16 touchdowns and only 5 picks. Look, for Jacksonville, obviously the future is bright. You guys are going to get a number 1 pick in the draft. So to me, it looks more like Trevor Lawrence going number 1. But the way Justin Fields has been playing for Ohio State, it would make sense him to go number 1 as well. But I would lean more towards a little bit of Trevor Lawrence to go number 1 with that for Jacksonville. So the future's bright for Jacksonville. But for me, with the Indianapolis Colts, I'm taking them. I'll take the 14.5. If you guys think that's too much, go money line on this pick. 48 is the over-under. I would go with the over. I think the Colts are going to score a lot of points, and I expect it to be at least 30-some points this game. I want the Indianapolis Colts to really have a statement game. I'm saying come out, balls to the wall, Indianapolis Colts. I mean, this is do or die. And if we go back to week 1, say they do beat Jacksonville week 1, we're in a completely different scenario. And I think really we're in the playoffs if we win week 1 against Jacksonville. So to me, it's just like, man, we kind of dug ourselves a hole in this aspect. But I'm going Indianapolis Colts, no doubt about it. Go Colts, baby. Let's go. Then we got the Jets versus the Patriots. Obviously, both these teams will not make the playoffs this year. The Jets, really a bad year yet again. Yet again, Sam Darnold, he had 8 touchdowns and 9 picks. When you throw more picks than touchdowns, it makes sense why you guys have only won a few games this year. For real, the Jets, I am so to me, it's just like, damn, the Jets really should have tanked. The Jets should have just gave up the whole season and got number 1 draft pick, but not anymore. It goes to Jacksonville now. Crazy to me, but look, I'm going to go Patriots. Patriots are favored by 3. Obviously, a down year for the Patriots. Getting rid of Tom Brady this past year. Cam Newton this year has not had a good season. 5 touchdowns and 10 picks. Look, there's no excuses for Cam. I think, obviously, if he would have had a longer offseason to learn the playbook and everything, no doubt about it, I agree with that. But for me, with Cam Newton, it's going to be a huge offseason this year. It's like, are the Patriots going to sign you to another year? What's going to happen with Cam Newton? Obviously, it's not the Cam Newton that we're used to seeing. Not the 2015 Cam Newton. This 2020 Cam Newton was just like, wow. As you go into 2021 now, it's just like, what's next for Cam Newton? Really a big question mark. I hope the best, but I'm going to go with the Patriots to beat the Jets, no doubt. Then we got the Saints versus the Panthers. The Saints are 6-point favorites. Obviously, the Saints are already in. If I'm Sean Payton, I'm saying, Drew Brees, I maybe playing for a half. To me, it's like, why even bother to even play Drew Brees this game? You guys are already in. You know what I'm saying? Are you guys wanting to play for home field advantage that bad? To me, you got Kamara. What a season. 187 carries, 187 carries for 932 yards rushing and 16 touchdowns. He also has 83 receptions on 756 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. I mean, he's the X factor. And to me, the Saints that also have Taysom Hill in that backup quarterback to really get that wildcat with Kamara. I love this combination. Obviously, the Panthers really down year this year. Teddy Bridgewater, 15 touchdowns and 9 picks. Obviously, with McCaffrey getting hurt earlier this season, really banged up. But to me, I'm going with the Saints. The Saints are favored by 6. Even if they don't start Breeze, I still like the Saints in this pick. 46 is the over-under. You guys can decide that, but I'm going with the Saints. I think Drew Brees, if he does end up playing, I think he's going to be too much. But like I said, if I'm Sean Payton, I'm resting Drew Brees. We're already in the playoffs. So to me, Drew Brees, his clock is ticking for him, and I really think Drew Brees, I want to see Drew Brees win that second Super Bowl. I really do. Third year's a charm for me. This is my third year picking the Saints to win it all, and we saw what happened the past couple years. Really some heartbreaks in the playoffs. So to me, I want good karma to come back around for the Saints, so I'm going with the Saints, baby. Then we got Miami versus the Bills. Obviously, this could be a suck bet. Miami's coming in favorites by 1. I think they're doing that because they had to win. And this is a huge game for Tua. Obviously, Josh Allen, what a season this year. 34 touchdowns and 9 picks, over 4,300 yards passing, dude. To me, Josh Allen, one of the most improved players overall in the NFL to date, right now. For real, Josh Allen, he is a problem to be concerned with. I'm telling you what, the Bills' future right now is bright. And then we got Diggs. He's got 120 receptions this year on 1,459 yards receiving and 8 touchdowns. Diggs and Allen, they're too much. Obviously, the Bills, right now, they're in. So, to me, the Bills could even be like, we're going to rest Josh Allen, but I don't think they will. I think they'll come out. And, look, I'm going to go Bills here. At home, last game of the season, I think the Bills make this a statement game, and I think that Miami misses it. I really do. But, Tua, I hope they prove me wrong. I hope the Miami Dolphins prove me wrong and win this game, but I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. 42 is the over-under. I'll lean more with the over, but I'm definitely going with the Bills, the underdog. Then we got the Ravens versus the Bengals. The Ravens control their destiny. They win, they are in. 13.5-point favorites. Lamar Jackson, he's the X factor of the Ravens. Like I said, if Lamar Jackson plays MVP level Lamar Jackson, they'll make it. They will. They could really beat Kansas City, dude. I'm telling you what. I think their secondary needs to get a little bit better for the Baltimore Ravens, but that'll come in with time. So to me, I cannot wait. Lamar, 23 touchdowns and 8 picks. He also has 148 carries on 908 yards rushing and 7 rushing touchdowns. Lamar, dude, I'm telling you what. He is former MVP last year, so to me, I really expect Baltimore to come out and really just manhandle the Bengals. Obviously, Burrow being out, they got backup quarterbacks. I'm going with the Ravens. The Ravens control their destiny. Obviously, they're not going to get a number 1 seed like they did last year. But look, you win, you're in. You're in the playoffs. It doesn't matter if you're 1 or a 6 seed in the playoffs in the NFL. It does not matter as long as you get in. We see what happened in history. Look at the 2006 Steelers. They were like a 5th or 6th seed coming in. Wild card team, and they won it all. Every game for them was an away game, and they still won the Super Bowl. So anything's possible for the Ravens. The future is bright. I'm telling you what, it is bright. And Lamar Jackson, I cannot wait. And Harbaugh, they'll be ready. So I'm going with the Ravens at 13.5. I'll take that spread. Then we got Pittsburgh versus the Cleveland Browns. Pittsburgh, we know they're going to rest Big Ben. They're going to rest most of their starters. They're already in. So to me, why bother with injury? This game doesn't mean anything to you, and it makes sense why Cleveland's 10-point favorites. And Baker really boils down to you. 25 touchdowns and 8 picks. I believe if the Cleveland Browns win, they are in. They might have to have a little bit of help, but look, Cleveland, they control their destiny with Baker. And Baker, you've had a great season. This is a playoff game for Baker Mayfield and Cleveland Browns right now. This is a huge game because I even said at the beginning of the year, if the Cleveland Browns and Baker Mayfield make the playoffs, 100% he needs that long-term contract. It's been years since the last time Cleveland's made the playoffs. It's been so long. So to me, the drought is over if Baker gets this dub here. Landry, what a season. 67 receptions on 789 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. To me, Baker, they need to get those two going. In Chubb with the ground game. So to me, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns. It makes sense. Their favorite, like I said, Pittsburgh's going to be resting a lot of their starters. So to me, this is not a huge game for Pittsburgh. It's a playoff game for the Browns. And it makes sense why they're 10-point favorites. If you guys think that spread, 10 points, is a little too much, go with the money line. And I'm leaning more towards the money line. I think it's going to be a little closer, but I'm going with the Cleveland Browns. I want to see the Cleveland Browns get in there because of Baker Mayfield. I want to see them get in the playoffs. They're this close, and really, they control their destiny. So to me, I'm going with the Browns. Then we got Minnesota versus Detroit Lions. Minnesota coming in as 3.5-point favorites. Obviously, both these teams, they're out of the playoffs, which is crazy, right? Minnesota, I really thought they would make the playoffs at the beginning of the season, with the season they had the past couple years, 2018, 2019, even in a little bit of 2020. But look, this is kind of a coin flip game, a little rivalry here. I have honestly Stafford. He's got a pretty good season, 23 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Kirk Cousins, 32 touchdowns and 13 picks. Dalvin Cook, though, he's been the X factor for Minnesota. He's got over 1,500 yards rushing and 16 touchdowns. Obviously, I think Minnesota wins this game if they keep it on the ground. Keep it to their basics. Run it. Utilize some play action with Kirk Cousins. And really, Minnesota's defense got to put pressure on Stafford. I think that's the difference. So I'm going to go Minnesota here. Obviously, this isn't a playoff scenario, so it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I'm going to go Minnesota. 53 is the over-under. I would go more towards with the under in this one, but you guys can decide that, but I'm going Minnesota. Then we got the Cowboys versus the Giants. Obviously, disappointing season for both these teams, especially for the Cowboys. I mean, we had high hopes for them. They thought they were going to make the playoffs yet again. They thought they were going to win the Super Bowl yet again. And it's like year after year. We see it with the Cowboys. And Jerry Jones, I don't know where to begin. Obviously, I think he messed up last year not giving Dak Prescott long-term contract, and we learned something from that. And I think Dallas, I don't know what they're going to do with Dak. I mean, I really thought they would give him a long-term contract. Are they going to go in the draft and maybe draft a quarterback? What's going to happen for Dallas in the offseason is crucial for the Dallas Cowboys. It really is. Obviously, Zeke, he's there for a while. This year, 937 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. Not the greatest season. Obviously, Andy Dalton replacing Dak. It's just not the same right now. And then on the other side with the Giants, Daniel Jones, 9 touchdowns and 9 picks this year. Obviously, with Saquon Barkley going out at the earlier of the season, it's a down year for both these teams. This is really a coin flip. I would like to go Giants, but, I'm going to go Cowboys. I think Andy Dalton has a pretty good day, and I think Zeke needs a rush for over 100 yards. Last game of the season, obviously not making the playoffs this year, but I like Zeke to really show out. 44 is the over-under. I would go with the over, but I'm going with the Cowboys at 1.5. Then we got Atlanta versus the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are in. They're gonna play, though. I believe Tom Brady's gonna play. Look, 36 touchdowns and 11 picks this year for Tom Brady. I mean, dude, he's got weapons now. I'm telling you what, the Bucs going into the playoffs are very dangerous, dude. They are super dangerous. Antonio Brown, Gronkowski, Mike Evans. Mike Evans this year, 960 yards receiving and 13 touchdowns. I mean, dude, I'm telling you what, the Bucs, they can score to anybody. They really can. But on the flip side with Atlanta, another disappointing season. I mean, you guys got all that talent and yet cannot make the playoffs. It doesn't make sense to me. Matt Ryan, yes, he's putting up good numbers. 24 touchdowns and 11 picks. Over 4,316 yards passing exactly. So to me, it's like great numbers for Matt Ryan. But, where's the resume to show? Where's the playoffs? To me, it's just, I feel like for Atlanta Falcons, they need to go a different route. They need to go and draft a younger quarterback. They really do for their future. Matt Ryan's been there for a while. Is he going to be there for another 10 years? Is he going to be there until 2030? Like, for real? No, he's not. So to me, I think Atlanta needs to start in the draft and draft a quarterback. But for this game, I'm going to go Bucs. Bucs are a favorite by 7. I think they get it done. Obviously, it's not a playoff game for the Bucs or Atlanta, but, the Bucs are in, and they control their destiny. So I'm going to go Bucs and Tom Brady. I think the offense clicks. That's why I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, baby. Then we got Green Bay versus the Bears. This is a huge game. Green Bay's coming in at 4.5-point favorites. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, again, another great season. Over 4,000 yards passing, 44 touchdowns and 5 picks. Obviously, my unanimous MVP right now is probably Aaron Rodgers. And a lot of people would say Mahomes. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, look, the tools he has, obviously Devontae Adams, his favorite target. Devontae Adams, 1,328 yards receiving and 17 touchdowns. Crazy, right? But I think, overall, Green Bay, my whole thing is their secondary legit? Is their defense legit to really run deep in the playoffs with Green Bay? Still a little bit of question mark. But, the Bears, they win. They control their destiny. So this is a playoff game for the Bears. We know Green Bay, they're already in. So they're not tripping right now. Trubisky last week versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. David Montgomery, what a season this year, over 1,000 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns. But, this is going to be a great game in Chicago. To me, I can't wait. This is really a coin flip game. I'm leaning more towards Green Bay, but you know what? I would love to see the Bears win this game. So I'm going to go with the Bears. Obviously, if I'm betting with my brains, I'm going to go Green Bay. But, I'm kind of betting with my heart because I want to see the Bears win. I really do. I think Trubisky's going to come out and have a big game. Now, if Trubisky throws a couple interceptions, you bet Green Bay will win this game by at least a touchdown, maybe even 2. So to me, it really boils down to Trubisky's quarterback play. If he plays great, they are in this game and they can beat Green Bay. Like I said, Green Bay's not playing for playoffs. They're already in. So they're not tripping at all. So I'm going to go Bears. 48.5 is the over-under. They're telling us it's going to be a high-scoring game, so I'd lean more towards the over with this one, but I'm going with the Chicago Bears. Who would have thought? The Chicago Bears over Green Bay. I'm picking them. You heard it from Cap. No cap. Literally, no cap. So I'm going Green Bay. Or excuse me, no. I'm going with Chicago Bears. Man, I even said Green Bay. I tricked myself. I'm going with the Bears. And then we got the Las Vegas Raiders versus Denver Broncos. Obviously, a disappointing season for both. Now, Raiders, they could still get in. They have to have a lot of stuff happen and go their way. Raiders are 2.5-point favorites. Derek Carr this year, 25 touchdowns and 7 picks. Josh Jacobs, almost 1,000 yards rushing and 10 touchdowns. But for Denver, it's been a down season. A lot of banged up quarterbacks. Drew Lock's been in and out. Drew Lock, 14 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. So it makes sense why Denver's where they're at. They're out of the playoffs. Melvin Gordon, 893 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns. But I think overall, I think the Raiders get it done. I do. I think Las Vegas Raiders get it done. Like I said, they win this game. They have a lot of different scenarios go in their favor to make the playoffs. So a lot of stuff has to happen for the Raiders and John Gruden. But I think in the offseason, look, add some more defensive players. Add some help for Derek Carr. I really do believe that for the Raiders. That's where they should go in the offseason. For Denver, obviously, I think a quarterback is in need. Is Drew Lock a future quarterback in Denver? Probably not. I would say if you guys trust in him, add better offensive linemen. Add better receivers for Drew Lock then, if you're going to put faith in him. But 50.5 is the over-under. I'll lean more towards with the under, but I'm definitely going Las Vegas Raiders in this matchup. No doubt about it. They're a better team. I'm picking the Raiders. Then we got the Los Angeles Chargers versus Kansas City. Chargers are coming in at 5.5-point favorites because Kansas City, they're resting their starters. Mahomes isn't playing. None of their starters should be playing. Kansas City, home field advantage, number 1 seed yet again. So to me, I love this matchup. I believe last year actually was the Baltimore Ravens number 1 seed. So I think Kansas City was maybe a 2 or 3 seed last year. So excuse me for yet again. But look, Kansas City, dude, I'm telling you what, they're the team to beat right now. Super Bowl defending champions in 2020. I think they could really repeat. They had the best offense in the league, no doubt. They do. A lot of high-powered offense in the NFL right now, but Kansas City at the top. But to me, rest Mahomes, and it makes sense while the Chargers are still favorites. But you know what? I'm probably still going to go with Kansas City at home. I get it. The Chargers are favorite. They're starting all their starters. I don't care. I think the second string Kansas City team could beat the first team Chargers team. I really do. 43 is the over-under. I would lean more towards with the under in this pick. I just feel like that's more common there for me, that aspect. But look, dude, I'm telling you what right now, Kansas City could really win this game. That's why I'm going Kansas City, even without Mahomes. Then we got Arizona versus the Rams. This is a huge game for both teams. Both teams had to win, and a lot of stuff happened and go their way to get in the playoffs. Arizona, they're coming in at 2.5-point favorites. It makes sense. The Rams have really been playing bad the past month. Really inconsistent. Their defense and Aaron Donald and Ramsey, to me, they're just been on their heels. I don't know what's going on with the Rams. To me, it's really a concern. Jared Goff, 20 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Cooper Kupp, 92 receptions on 974 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. Really a good season, but to me, it's just like the Rams, they kind of dug themselves in the hole. And to me, it starts with their offensive line and their front seven on their defense. To me, I don't know what it is. Arizona, Murray, 26 touchdowns and 12 picks. DeAndre Hopkins, over 1,300 yards receiving and 6 touchdowns. To me, this is a coin flip game, but you know what? I'm going to go with the Rams. And here's why. I think Aaron Donald and that defense really has the chip on their shoulder this game and say, hey, we're playing for playoffs right now. This is all or nothing right now. Win or go home. So to me, I'm going with the Rams. I'm going with Aaron Donald. It makes sense. Rams, 41.5 is the over-under. I would go with the over in this pick. But to me, I'm going with the Rams, the underdog. Then we got Seattle versus the 49ers. 49ers, a good season. Psych, it was a trash season for the 49ers. Last year in the Super Bowl, lost, a couple plays away from a Super Bowl champion. Mullins, 12 touchdowns, 12 picks. I think the 49ers this offseason need to go draft a quarterback. They really do. Draft a quarterback. young quarterback coming in. That's what they need to do. But Seattle, Russell Wilson, 38 touchdowns and 13 picks this year, over 4,000 yards passing. Russell Wilson, yet again, another MVP caliber year. DK Metcalf, 80 receptions on 1,282 yards receiving and 10 touchdowns. But I think overall, I think Seattle gets it done. Seattle, they're in the playoffs. They're favored by 7 points against the trash-ass 49ers. Obviously, I'm going with Seattle in this one. No doubt. I think Russell Wilson throws for at least 3 touchdowns. That's why I'm going Seattle. 46 is the over-under. I would go with the over, but I'm definitely rolling with Seattle. Then we got Tennessee versus the Texans. The Tennessee Titans, they control their destiny. If they win the AFC South. So, to me, this is a playoff game for Tennessee. They win the AFC South, and they're in the playoffs, guaranteed, punched in, ticket punched. So, to me, Tennessee, like I said at the beginning of week 1, they are my dark horse team to really make a big difference in the playoffs. They could really even win a Super Bowl. I know it sounds insane. It's like, what are you talking about, Cap? They have the formula to do it. They have a great defense, and they have a great running game, and they can control the clock, time of possession. They do all those good things that a winning Super Bowl champion can do. So, to me, and it starts with Ryan Tannehill, 32 touchdowns and 7 picks. I think if he plays well, they can go how far as they can go. Tannehill, if he throws a couple picks, it's not looking good. But Derrick Henry, 1,777 yards rushing and 15 touchdowns. Like I said, Derrick Henry, the best running back in the league. And I think Tennessee really needs to start in this game running the ball down the Texans' throat. Yes, the Texans, yes, they got J.J. Watt, but really the Texans' defense is kind of weak, especially their secondary. So I'm definitely going with the Tennessee Titans here. They're favored by 7. I get that. You know, the Texans, this is their last game of the season. They're not in the playoffs. But to me, this offseason, what the Houston Texans need to do is really get better players for Deshaun Watson. Really surround them with better players. Surround them with better offensive linemen. That's where they need to start and get some good defensive players as well. But for the Tennessee Titans, like I said, they win the AFC South. They're in, so they control their destiny. So I cannot wait to see what the Texans do. The Titans. So I'm going with the Tennessee Titans over the Houston Texans all day, every day. 54.5 is the over/under. You guys can decide that, but I'm rolling with the Titans, baby. Then we got the Washington team versus Philly. Obviously, both these teams are out. Philly, Hurts last week versus the Cowboys, 342 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Obviously, Carson Wentz, I think he's done in Philly. I think Philly lets him go and says, hey, look, nice knowing you. You're done. I think Carson Wentz will end up somewhere else, maybe the Jets, maybe somewhere else that's not as good, even the 49ers even. Who knows? But to me, I think the Washington team, Alex Smith is starting. I think this is really a coin flip, obviously, but I'm going to go the Washington team. I think Alex Smith has a breakout game and really plays well. I think he plays a little bit better than Hurts. But look, I think moving forward, Philly, Hurts, why not? I don't see why they wouldn't go with him. So I think in the future of next 2021 fall season, I think Jalen Hurts will be the starting quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think that's great. So I think this is a shutout game, but I'm going with the Washington team, baby. It's week 17. This is one more week, baby. Then we got the playoffs. I cannot wait. Obviously, the top team right now is Kansas City. Kansas City's my number 1. Number 2, I got to go with the Saints. The Saints, to me, Drew Brees, they're just too much right now, and Kamara, I love them so much. Then we got Green Bay at number 3. To me, Green Bay, the difference maker right now. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, they can throw it out. Number 4, Seattle Seahawks and Russell Wilson. I really think it starts with them, and where they go, it depends on Russell Wilson, no doubt about it. And my number 5 team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Tom Brady. I'm telling you what, going into the playoffs, anything is possible. Anything can happen. You guys heard it from Cap. Anything's possible, baby. It's the NFL. It's the Connor with Cap show. Let's go!